stop. Pause everything right now. This isn't an algorithm. This isn't a coincidence that you clicked on this video. Something is happening in this moment. And the timing matters more than you know. You weren't supposed to hear this today, but here you are, and there has been a waiting for you to arrive at this exact place, at this exact second, because what's about to be shared, it's going to change the way you understand your financial pain. For years you've wondered. For years you've prayed. And the question has been asked, why am I struggling when others aren't? Tonight, the truth comes out. Tonight, you learn what's been happening in your family, what's been passed down through your bloodline, and how it ends. Not tomorrow, not next month. The next 3 days can be the beginning of a real shift. Sit with that for a moment. 3 days, not 3 years, not someday if you're lucky. 3 days from tonight, something in you is going to be different than it is right now if you're willing to walk through what's about to be laid out. You may have opened this video tired. Maybe you checked your bank balance before clicking play and felt that familiar drop in your stomach. Maybe you're driving or folding laundry or lying in bed after a day that took more out of you than it gave back. Wherever you are, this reaches you exactly where you are. Nothing about your situation needs to be hidden or explained. It's already known. My child, I see you. I see the nights you stayed awake, the spreadsheets you stared at until your eyes burned, the moment you checked your account, hoping something had changed, knowing that it hadn't. Every single one of those moments is seen, and there is something that will change your foundation. Your financial tears have been counted, not dismissed, not forgotten, not overlooked, counted. There's an old psalm that says it plainer than I can. You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book. That's not poetry to me. That's a promise. Every time you felt that weight in your chest when the bills arrived, it was felt. Every time you chose between eating well and paying the electric bill, it was known. Every time you looked at your children and wondered if you could give them what they deserved, it was counted, because circumstances were never the whole picture. Your heart, your effort, the integrity you've maintained even when you were barely surviving, that matters. You've been carrying something heavy, so heavy that you've stopped telling people about it. You smile in the photos. You say, "We're doing okay," when friends ask. But at night, you know the truth. The exhaustion isn't just from working hard. It's the exhaustion of fighting alone. It's the weight of wondering if this will ever change. You've asked yourself, is this just my life? Is this just who I am? And somewhere inside you, a small voice keeps saying, but I've prayed, I've worked, I've tried to be good. Why is this still happening? Your answer is coming. In fact, it's already here. The reason you're experiencing this isn't random. It's not because you're not smart enough. It's not because you don't work hard enough. It's not punishment for something you did wrong. No, the truth is far more complex and far more liberating. Maybe you've sat in a car in a parking lot, engine off, just breathing, not ready to go inside and face whatever bill or conversation was waiting. Maybe you've smiled through a family gathering while doing silent math in your head about what you could and couldn't afford this month. Maybe you've told your children, not right now, more times than you wanted to, and felt something crack a little each time you said it. None of that was ever a measure of your love, your effort, or your worth. It was the visible edge of something much older than you, something that started long before your name was ever spoken. Think about how many nights you've replayed the same math in your head. If I just picked up another shift, if I just cut back further, if I just tried one more budgeting method, one more side hustle, one more plan. And for a moment, maybe it helped. But something always pulled you back to the same starting line. Not because you failed, because the line itself was drawn before you ever got here. You've watched other people who don't seem to work any harder than you move ahead anyway, and in the quiet moments, that comparison stings. It's tempting to believe it means something is wrong with you. It doesn't. It means something is happening beneath the surface that no amount of hustle alone could fix. Because it was never a hustle problem to begin with. What you're carrying isn't just yours. Listen closely. You are carrying a burden that was placed on your family long before you were born. Some call it a generational curse. Think of it differently. It's not a punishment. It's not anger. It's not judgment. It's a pattern, a cycle, a wound passed down like an inherited disease through your family line. Your grandmother may have experienced lack. She carried the shame of it. She believed something about money that wasn't true. Maybe people like us don't get ahead. Or rich people are evil, so we should remain poor. Or money is the root of all evil, so I must reject it to be spiritual. That belief moved to your mother. Your mother inherited not just the belief, but the emotions attached to it, the fear, the shame, the resignation. She worked hard, but somewhere inside her, she didn't believe lasting abundance was for her, and through her actions, her words, the very energy she carried, struggle became normal. Lack became inheritance. It doesn't stop there. You inherited it too. And if you have children, they're inheriting it right now. This very moment, the way you talk about money, the way you react when you're stressed about finances, the beliefs you hold about your worthiness to receive. All of it moves downward. This is what a generational curse is. Not witchcraft, not supernatural punishment, a spiritual pattern, a mindset, a belief system flowing through your bloodline like water flowing downhill. Everyone in that river of your family drowns in the same water until someone breaks it, and that someone is you. Understand this. Your family created this through the beliefs they held and the choices they made. It was never wanted for you. Never. There has been a waiting for someone in your lineage to wake up and say, "This ends with me, not with my children, not with my family's future. This ends right here, right now." That's the prayer that's been listened for. That's the moment that's been waited for, and you've arrived at it. Think for a moment about the specific shape this took in your own family. Maybe it was a grandfather who lost everything once and never trusted stability again, so every generation after him kept one foot ready to run. Maybe it was a mother who equated asking for help with weakness, so no one in your family learned how to receive support without shame attached to it. Maybe it was simply silence. Money never discussed openly, so it grew into something mysterious and frightening instead of something manageable. Whatever shape it took in your bloodline, the mechanism is the same. A belief, planted in fear, repeated enough times that it stopped sounding like a belief and started sounding like fact. This is just how things are for our family. That sentence has probably been spoken in some form by someone who raised you, and it was spoken with love, even when it was wrong. They were trying to prepare you for a hard world. They didn't realize they were also handing you their ceiling. But a ceiling someone else built is not a ceiling you have to live under. There's another layer to this worth naming, honestly. Generational patterns aren't only passed through explicit lessons. They're passed through what wasn't said, what wasn't modeled, what wasn't allowed to be asked about. If no one in your family ever discussed how they manage money, negotiated a raise, or recovered from a financial mistake, you didn't just miss out on advice. You missed out on proof that recovery and growth were even possible. You had to learn everything from scratch, in the dark, while people who grew up watching healthier patterns in their own families got a head start you never had. That's not a small disadvantage. It's worth acknowledging, without bitterness, that some of what feels like your own failure to figure things out was actually a missing inheritance, not a personal shortcoming. Naming that clearly is not an excuse. It's the beginning of no longer blaming yourself for a gap you didn't create. And here's the part that matters most going forward. Whatever wasn't handed down to you, you now get to hand down differently. You don't need to have it all figured out perfectly. You simply need to be the first one willing to talk about it, to ask the questions no one asked before, to make the small different choices that a healthier pattern is built from. That alone changes what the next generation inherits. Let's speak to something specific, something happening in your life right now, something happening in so many lives, but almost no one talks about it. You feel like you're betraying your family by wanting more. Deep down, buried under all the logic and the prayers and the positive affirmations, there's a voice that says, if I become successful, if I become wealthy, am I abandoning the struggle my family endured? Am I saying their pain didn't matter? Am I being ungrateful for what I have? And because of that guilt, self-sabotage creeps in, unconsciously. Every time you're about to break through financially, something happens, an unexpected expense, a conflict at work, a health issue, a relationship problem. Something pulls you back down to the familiar level of struggle, and the thought comes, see, this is just how it's meant to be for me. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is that your own nervous system, the one conditioned by years of lack, is pulling you back to safety, to the familiar, to what it knows. A subconscious mind trained by generations of not enough, protecting you from the unknown territory of abundance. That moment when you almost had enough, and your mind found a reason to give it away or spend it or lose it. That feeling of standing on the edge of breakthrough and stepping backward into the canyon of struggle. That experience of watching opportunity pass by and not even stopping it because some part of you doesn't believe it's meant for you. All of it is recognized. You're not broken. You're not cursed in a way that condemns you. You're conditioned. Your mind was shaped by a pattern that ran through your entire family system. But conditioning can be changed. Patterns can be broken. This is what the next 3 days are about. This is why this message reached you now. This isn't random timing. You're standing at a threshold. On one side, everything stays the same. The struggle continues. Your children inherit the pattern. The cycle goes on. On the other side, breakthrough, healing, the breaking of a chain that's been wrapped around your family for generations. 3 days. That's not a long time, but it's enough. Enough for your mind to shift, enough for your belief to change, enough to make a decision that rewires your nervous system and breaks the pattern. Consider how this has played out in ordinary moments you might not have connected to any of this. The time an unexpected bonus came in, and, within a week, an equally unexpected expense arrived to absorb it almost exactly. The time a better job offer appeared, and doubt crept in fast enough to talk yourself out of applying. The time someone offered to help, and the instinct was to say, "No, I'm fine," even though you weren't. None of these were random bad luck. Each one was the old pattern doing exactly what it was trained to do: protect you from an unfamiliar level of provision by pulling you back to the familiar level of lack. This is not a character flaw. It is a learned reflex, and learned reflexes can be unlearned. Athletes retrain reflexes. Musicians retrain reflexes. A nervous system that learned scarcity can just as surely learn safety in abundance, but only once it's given a reason to trust that abundance won't disappear or be punished. Here's something else worth sitting with. The guilt itself is often the loudest part of this whole pattern, louder even than the fear. Guilt for wanting more when parents had less. Guilt for imagining a life easier than the one that raised you. Guilt for the thought, even fleeting, that maybe the sacrifices made on your behalf deserve to lead somewhere better than more sacrifice. That guilt is not loyalty. Loyalty to your family does not require staying in the same financial position they were in. If anything, the opposite is true. Becoming the one who breaks the pattern is the most loyal thing that could be done for everyone who came before, because it means their struggle wasn't passed on for nothing. It became the very thing that finally stopped with you. But it has to be chosen. The truth about your worthiness. There's a lie that needs addressing directly, because it's the foundation of everything you're experiencing. The lie is this: my worth is determined by my productivity. My value is measured by my struggle. I only deserve abundance if I hurt to get it. Because of that lie, an entire identity gets built around suffering. There's pride in how hard you work. Exhaustion gets worn like a badge of honor. And unconsciously, a belief takes hold that if life became easier, if money started flowing, if joy came without the counterweight of pain, then something would be wrong. Unspiritual, selfish. So the pain keeps getting chosen, over and over, consciously and unconsciously, chosen because it feels righteous, like suffering for a purpose, like earning a place in heaven, like being a good person. But here is something that might shake that foundation. Suffering does not earn more love. Struggle does not make you more worthy. Pain is not rewarded, and sacrifice was never the price of blessing. Your suffering? It grieves. The weight carried, it was never meant to be carried this way. At creation, the intention was never, "Here, let this one struggle to prove their worth." The intention was, "Here is abundance. Here is joy. Here is creativity and provision and freedom. This is the inheritance of my child." But somewhere in your family's history, a different choice was made. Alignment with scarcity, a binding to the belief that abundance was for others, not for us, not for people like us, and that binding passed to you. But listen, a binding can be broken, a curse can be reversed, a pattern can be shattered, not by working harder, not by praying more desperately, not by earning your way into worthiness, but by simple, radical acceptance of the truth. You are worthy, not because of what you do, not because of what you achieve, not because of how much you struggle, but because you exist, because you are a child of God, because that worth was decided before you were born, and that decision has never changed. Your financial tears have been counted because you are valued, not as punishment, not as a test, but out of love. And the watching of that pain being carried alone, that ends now. There's a reason this lie is so hard to shake. It usually got planted early, often by people who meant well. A parent who only praised you after exhausting effort, never for simply resting. A culture or a version of faith that equated hardship with holiness and ease with laziness or even sin. Over time, I have to earn it, quietly replaced, I am already worthy of it. And the switch happened so gradually that it never felt like a decision. It felt like the truth. But look at what that belief actually produces. It doesn't produce more blessing. It produces more exhaustion, dressed up as virtue. It keeps hands too clenched to receive anything freely given, because free gifts feel suspicious to a mind trained on scarcity. If this is landing somewhere familiar right now, that recognition itself is the beginning of loosening its grip. Consider, too, how this belief quietly shapes decisions that seem unrelated to money. Taking the harder path when an easier one was available, simply because the harder path felt more earned. Turning down rest because productivity felt safer than stillness. Feeling uneasy during a genuinely good season, waiting for the other shoe to drop, because ease itself felt unfamiliar and slightly untrustworthy. These aren't isolated habits, they're all branches of the same root belief, that comfort has to be justified by suffering first. Loosening that root changes far more than a bank balance. It changes how rest feels, how joy feels, how safety feels. So let's talk about what happens in the next 3 days. Because this is where the pattern breaks. This is where the generational curse ends. In the next 72 hours, something is being offered. Not a ritual, not a magic spell, not a loophole in the universe. A fundamental shift in how you see yourself, your money, and your family's future. Here's the first practice, something that might feel small, but it reprograms the nervous system. It sends a signal to the universe, and more importantly, to yourself, that a new inheritance is being claimed. Every time money is spent, let it be with gratitude and intention, not guilt, not desperation, acknowledgement. When a bill is paid, try saying, "I'm grateful for the electricity I receive. I'm grateful for the shelter this provides." When food is bought, "I'm grateful for the nourishment this gives my body. I'm grateful for the abundance available to me." This isn't positive thinking. This is pattern interruption. A whole life of paying bills with resentment, spending money with fear, handling finances while carrying the weight of generations. The nervous system learned money means pain, money means struggle, money is the enemy. But in these 3 days, something new is being taught. A new neural pathway forms. Every grateful payment, every conscious choice, every moment money is treated as a blessing instead of a burden, breaks the old pattern. The second practice, forgive your ancestors. They hurt. They carried wounds so deep they couldn't see a way out. They did the best they could with the beliefs and the conditioning they had. And because they suffered, they accidentally passed their suffering forward. Forgive them anyway. Sit quietly for a few minutes and consciously, deliberately say, "I forgive my ancestors for the beliefs they passed to me. I forgive them for the pattern they created, and I release them from the responsibility of my future." I take back my power. This isn't about excusing their choices. It's about releasing the energetic entanglement that's kept you bound to their experience. Forgiveness cuts the cord. Release brings freedom. This practice can feel strange at first, especially if the relationship with those ancestors, living or gone, was complicated or even painful. Forgiveness here doesn't mean pretending harm didn't happen, and it doesn't mean reopening a relationship that isn't safe to reopen. It means something quieter and entirely internal. No longer carrying their unprocessed fear as if it were your own assignment to resolve. Their fear belonged to their generation, their circumstances, their unhealed wounds. It was never meant to be yours to finish carrying. If it helps, imagine setting down a weight you've been holding for someone else, not because their pain didn't matter, but because it was never yours to hold in the first place. That's what release looks like here. Not forgetting, not excusing, simply setting it down. The third practice matters most. Declare your breakthrough out loud, not quietly, not in your head, with your voice. Spoken word carries weight. It sends something through your entire being. It signals to your subconscious mind that something new is being claimed. So, look in the mirror and say, "My ancestors' struggle ends with me. The pattern of lack stops here. I am breaking the generational curse. I am claiming abundance. I am worthy of provision. I am worthy of joy. My children will not carry what I carried. My family's future is different because of the choice being made." Right now, say it. Hear it being said. Feel it move through your body. Because that's when the shift happens. Not in the thinking of it, not in the hoping of it, in the declaring of it, in the claiming of it. In the moment, permission stops being asked from the past, and command is taken of the future. If these things are practiced over the next 3 days, the mind begins to rewire. The nervous system begins to recalibrate. The relationship with money, with worthiness, with possibility, fundamentally changes. And that change is the beginning of the end of the curse. There's a fourth practice worth naming, quieter than the others, but just as important, noticing what already works. Somewhere in your life right now, there is already provision. A roof, even an imperfect one. A meal today, even a simple one. A skill someone pays you for, even if not enough yet. The old pattern trains attention exclusively on the gap. What's missing? What's owed? What hasn't arrived? Spend a few minutes each of these 3 days deliberately naming what's already present. Not to pretend the struggle isn't real, but to prove to your own nervous system that provision and struggle can coexist, and that provision is not a myth reserved for other families. None of these 4 practices require money, time you don't have, or belief you don't yet feel. They only require repetition. Say the words, even before you fully believe them. Belief tends to follow practice, not the other way around. Before moving forward, there's something worth holding on to. A sign. A marker for this exact moment. Remember Psalm 56:8. The tears collected in a bottle, everyone recorded in a book. If that verse means something to you right now, if it landed somewhere true, let this be the moment you mark it. Write 56-8. Somewhere you'll see it. On your hand, on a sticky note by your bed, in the Notes app on your phone. Let it be the reminder that your tears were never wasted, that they were counted, recorded, remembered. And if you'd like to say so here in the comments, not because a number needs claiming, but because naming a thing out loud makes it real. Write it down. My tears are counted, or simply 56 to 8. Let this moment become a marker you can return to on hard days. This isn't about a ritual of numbers. It's about anchoring truth to something concrete, the way people have always tied memory to scripture, to a verse, to a promise worth returning to. There's something worth understanding about why an anchor like this matters. 3 days from now, on an ordinary Tuesday afternoon, doubt will not announce itself with fanfare. It will show up quietly in the form of a bill you forgot about or a slow morning at work. In that ordinary moment, having something concrete to return to, a verse, a number, a phrase written on a sticky note, gives your mind something to hold on to besides the old, familiar spiral. That's the entire purpose. Not superstition. Memory made tangible. If scripture isn't your language, that's all right too. What matters is choosing something, a phrase, a verse, a single sentence from tonight, and returning to it deliberately over these 3 days, the way you'd return to a physical therapy exercise, not because it feels dramatic, but because repetition is what rebuilds strength. Some people find it helpful to read the fuller passage this verse comes from, Psalm 56 in its entirety, written by someone who was genuinely afraid, genuinely cornered, and still chose to trust that his distress hadn't gone unnoticed. There's something grounding about knowing this wasn't written from a place of ease. It was written from a place very close to where you might be sitting right now. There's something else happening in these 3 days. While the shift happens, while gratitude is chosen, while ancestors are forgiven, work is happening in ways that can't yet be seen. You may begin noticing opportunities that were always there, connections that start to make more sense, doors that seem to open a little easier, not because of being more deserving than anyone else, because yes finally got said, because openness to receive finally happened. You know what blocks most blessings? Not a lack of willingness to give, a resistance to receiving. Your ancestors, they didn't receive well. They received with guilt, with shame, waiting for it to be taken away. Their nervousness, their resistance, created a closed loop. Blessings came and got unconsciously pushed away. But this is different now. Starting now, receiving happens differently. When an opportunity comes, instead of questioning it or fearing it or waiting for the catch, it gets recognized as something meant for you. When money flows, instead of panic, gratitude. When provision arrives, instead of guilt, worthiness. This is what the next 3 days are rewiring. Watch for the signs. An unexpected message might arrive. A random text from someone with an opportunity. A thought that pops into your head about something you could do. A job listing that seems perfectly timed. A conversation that opens a door. These aren't coincidences, these are answers. These are the ways the path gets cleared. Pay attention. And when the signs appear, acknowledge them. Say, "Thank you. I see this. I'm receiving this." That acknowledgement opens the channel wider. Learning to receive well is its own skill, separate from earning well, and it's rarely taught. It shows up in small moments, accepting a compliment without deflecting it, accepting help without immediately trying to repay it before the help is even finished being given, accepting a good outcome without bracing for the next bad thing to balance it out. Each of these small moments is practice. Each time receiving happens cleanly. Without guilt attached, the nervous system logs a little more evidence that good things don't have to be followed by punishment. Over time, that evidence accumulates into a different baseline entirely. What happens after 3 days matters too. The shift beginning in these 72 hours doesn't end then. It compounds. Every day the new pattern is maintained. Every day, gratitude is chosen. Every day, worth is spoken. It strengthens. The old neural pathways weaken. The new ones grow stronger. Within a week, you may begin noticing a small difference in how money feels. Within a month, some external changes may start to show up. Within 3 months, the entire relationship with provision can look different. But it starts now, in these 3 days, with willingness. One more thing needs addressing, something that might surface in the next day or two. Doubt. That voice that says, "This is too simple, this can't work. Affirmations were tried before and nothing changed." That skepticism is part of the old pattern. The mind protecting itself from change. Because change is uncomfortable. Change means the curse can't be blamed anymore. It means responsibility gets claimed. It means belief in worthiness has to happen. When doubt comes, and it will, pause. Remember, the old way has already been tried. Struggling has been tried. Working hard and staying stuck has been tried. Inherited helplessness has been tried. What is there to lose by trying something new? Nothing. What is there to gain? Everything. When doubt whispers, whisper back, "My generational curse is breaking. My financial tears have been counted. My family's pattern ends with me." Say it until the doubt quiets. It's worth being honest about something else too. This shift will not look the same for everyone, and it will not always look dramatic. For some, it shows up as a single, unmistakable turn, an opportunity so well-timed it can't be dismissed as coincidence. For most, it shows up quieter than that, a slightly calmer feeling when checking an account balance, a conversation about money that doesn't end in an argument, a decision made from clarity instead of panic. These smaller shifts are not lesser than the dramatic ones. They are often the more durable kind because they represent the nervous system actually changing, rather than a single circumstance changing while the underlying pattern stays intact. Give this room to unfold in whatever form it takes. The goal was never a single miraculous check in the mail. The goal is a different relationship with money that outlasts any one event. One that your children, if you have them, will inherit instead of the old pattern. So here's where things stand. The truth has been heard. Your financial tears have been counted. Your generational curse is real, but it's breakable. And in the next 3 days, there is real power to end it. What happens next is a choice. Things can stay the same. The old pattern continues. Without a change, children may grow up inheriting the same struggle. Life goes on much as it's always gone. Or a different path opens. Gratitude practiced with every transaction. Ancestors forgiven. Breakthrough declared. A verse held on to as a marker of this night. And in that, a cycle running for generations can break. If this reached something in you tonight, consider staying close to this kind of message going forward. Subscribing simply means these words find you again when you need them. Nothing more is asked than that. The choice belongs to you now, not because of pressure, because of readiness. Reclaim what was taken from your family. Prove to yourself that abundance was always meant for you. Be the one who breaks the curse. Picture, for a moment, someone in your family, 2 or 3 generations from now. A grandchild, maybe, or a great niece or nephew you'll never meet living without the particular weight you've carried tonight. Not because life will be free of hardship. Life rarely is, but free of this specific inherited belief that lack is simply what your family gets. That's not a small thing to hand forward. That's the kind of change that outlives you. That's the hope held for you. Because you are loved, and that has never changed. So, what will be chosen? Take a breath before answering that, even just to yourself. Not a performance of certainty, not a forced positivity. Just an honest breath and an honest answer, whatever that answer is tonight. Tomorrow you get to choose again, and the day after. That's what these 3 days actually are. Not a single moment of transformation, but 3 chances, stacked back to back, to choose differently than the pattern would choose for you. Your tears have been counted. The next 3 days can be the beginning of a new chapter. Starting now.